Hello, today I'm going to be talking about the new mod that I made. You might be able to see it in the top right. It's, oh god, this appointment's actually really good. Oh, I can tell they're already rocking the block. The video's purpose is to showcase this mod, and this mod's pretty cool because, I made it, and it took me a while, and I learned a few new things along the way. So I'm gonna show them to you in a code review at the end of the video. This guy is so fast! He could have completed that in 40 seconds flat, and I'm really impressed. But some of the features of this mod are the death count. You could have seen. I died how many times? 7 times that game, and it showed it in the top right. Okay, I can't find any opponents, so I'm just gonna play single player. The opponent win stats won't load here, but the time elapsed, it's pretty useful because you can gauge how much time you're spending on like a certain segment or whatnot. These are mostly like, I don't even know why I made this mod. It shouldn't even exist. It's kind of useless. But the opponent win stats is pretty useful to gauge how hard you have to try, like the skill of your opponent. It's not always accurate because there's always some good people that have way too low amount of wins. And then there's that guy who I just played against. I've been playing obstacles like way too much recently. If I look at my play time, 6 hours. That's a lot of hours on obstacles. I have gotten sub 1 minute times though, which is pretty cool. And so I think this isn't breaking any rules as far as I know, because it won't give you, the death count won't give you an unfair advantage. The time elapsed won't really give you an unfair advantage. The win stats, you can just do like /stats before a game. /stats and then the first few letters of their name and tab. And it will do the same thing, but it requires some effort. And this was new for me because I had to use an API to fetch the stats of other players, and it's crazy. This one took me a while to make, but it's worth it. That could have been a sub-minute time if I hadn't choked at the end. And time for the code review. I have this render game overlay events, and you can see a death count, and to position it on the right side of the screen, we take the width, and then we move the text from x equals 0 to the width, so it's off screen, and then we move it to the left depending on the width of the text. It sounds complicated, but it's a simple process, and you're probably wondering how the death count gets updated, because there's no way to know for sure unless we had some other knowledge. And so up here, if I go to chat event, client chat events, then I could have this pattern, regex pattern. This signifies end of the string. This signifies just like a period. So basically, your username and then fell into the void. If a chat message is exact, if it matches this regex, then the death count goes up by 1. And when a new world loads, it just sets the death count back to 0. Makes sense, I guess. Now for the most complicated part, which is opponent win stats. The way that this works is that it makes an API request to the thing. So if I scroll up, here we go, attempt make API request. I set I do a few things. I request this URL, and then I put the API key here, and then I make sure this line is very important, because otherwise it could just like lag and freeze your game if the connection just fails for whatever reason. And then it does a few things to get the stats for obstacle single, or the game ID, which is obstacle single, and then the wins, and then it turns it to a string. Finally, the time. So this also uses regex to determine, so if the chat says game starting in 5 seconds, then the time, or like the starting time when you join the worlds, is set to system, or basically the current system time, and then you add on 5,000 because that's when the game is actually going to start. And then to stop, it stops the timer when it says total time was, and then it does a regex search again. And then we subtract the current time with the start time, and then divide it by 1,000 because it's in milliseconds originally, and then we format it, and then we have the time elapsed. And then we draw that to the screen. That's pretty much all there is to this mod. It should be released maybe in a day or 2. Or maybe 5 or 12 or 33. Yeah, that's it. The end. Goodbye.